morning Vlogmas people. I am here on the floor on day 6 of Vlogmas trying to cut out the Norma dress hack that I'm making for Christmas. I've realized that I've just been happily cutting away the bodice and the sleeves and realized that I haven't actually worked out what I'm going to do for the skirt sections. So usually if I can, I prefer to try and avoid wasting too much fabric. So what I will usually do for gathers is I will measure what the width of the fabric is and see if I can make that work for me. There's quite a bit of flexibility with how much bigger the gathers need to be than the section you're gathering it to, and I also need to figure out the length. I was thinking of doing 2 tiers of gather, so like a longer tier from the waist and then a shorter little section at the bottom, but I'm going to have a little think about sizing and measure what I've got as far as the width of the fabric and take it from there. So I've done some calculations and figured out what I'm doing with the tiers of the dress. So the first thing I did was measure the pattern piece where the waist is going to be sitting, so where I've cut my waist to end basically, and the finished garment measurements are on Fibre mood pattern, so that makes it really simple. So you just measure from one seam allowance to the other seam allowance and you know that you're going to get the finished garment measurements. So for me, where I've put the waist to be is going to be 39 inches on that pattern, and if I multiply that by 1.5, because I usually go for 1.5 times the size of whatever I'm gathering onto, that would mean I'd want my first tier to be 58.5 inches wide. I have measured this fabric and it's actually 55 inches wide, so it's a difference of 3.5 inches. I'm not worried about 3.5 inches when I'm gathering that kind of proportion, so I'm just going to cut it to the width of the fabric. So another way not to waste any more fabric than I have to. And as far as the length of it, I've looked where I think it would suit me for the second tier to start. And so I'm going to go from the waist down to a little bit above my knee. And I've measured, I think that's going to be about 22 inches minus a bit of seam allowance. I think should fit quite well. And then the second tier from that point, I think should be probably, I'm going to cut 10 inches long. And that's going to give me a little bit of a decent hem width as well, and it gives me a bit of wiggle room if I decide that it's a little bit too long. I'd rather have it be too long. Obviously that's a little bit simpler than having something that's too short. So as far as the width of that, I will just do 1.5 times the width of the fabric. So I'm going to end up basically cutting out a second tier that's the width of the fabric plus half of the width of the fabric again. I'm going to have a fair amount of this fabric left over, which I'm happy about. I had 2 meters to begin with, which looks like probably might have been fine. I wasn't sure, so I ordered another meter. So I'm going to have a fair amount of this really gorgeous red fabric. If I haven't shown you guys in a while, let me show you because I love this color. So beautiful. It's 100% linen fabric from Sew Me Sunshine. So I think this is going to make a beautiful dress, and it will even get to make something more, which is a really nice bonus. I almost forgot to mention I'm also stealing the pockets from the Peppermint magazine Bardon dress, which is a free pattern. I've made that dress before and love it, and I know that it's got really good size inseam pockets. So I'm going to borrow that pattern piece to add pockets to this dress. So I think it's breakfast time. I've got a few little jobs that I have to get done at some point today, and then I've got a very fun thing. I've got a Christmas party for work. I don't know if I'm going to do very much filming there just because I don't want people to feel put on the spot about whether or not they get filmed, but I'll show you where we're going because the restaurant's quite cool. It's called The Prince. It's in London, and it's a cool place because it's got 3 different restaurants in one, so they rotate what restaurants have little sections in their kitchen basically, and you can order from all different restaurants' menus. So it's so good with a group because you don't all have to have the same kind of thing. You can have quite a variety, and it's also like opened air, so it's not like a completely closed space as far as like COVID and everything else. It's more like technically it's an outdoor space, though there is some of the roof is covered, so it doesn't feel super outdoors, but it just feels that little bit safer as well. But I am very excited to be seeing all my work colleagues. I've been on annual leave. I haven't seen them for a little while, and what better way to see them than with a little Christmas party? So I've had some lunch. It's been a bit of a busy day with like live admin, which happens sometimes. So I've got some things I was hoping to get done before my Christmas party this evening with work colleagues. Main thing is I need to get their gifts together, so I'll show you how I'm doing that. But before I do that, I need to open my advent calendar. I know you know it's coming, but I'm still excited every day. So it is the 6th of December. Don't know what I'm gonna get. Let's have a look. We've got a nice sewing machine. Perfect. It's like she knows who her audience is, right guys? All right, ooh, it's looking colorful. So these are 3 sewing labels again. I think these are open to interpretation depending on your hot beverage of choice. We have got go-go juice. So I think that could definitely be tea or coffee, depending on which one you are. But that is super cute. Cute little mug too. I think it might be a coffee bean on the mug, so maybe it's supposed to be coffee, but that's a fun one, and I definitely can add that into some fun coffee lovers clothing for sure as a nice gift. So I'm gonna get on with packing up the Christmas presents for my coworkers because, like I said, I've got a party tonight. I need to make sure everything's ready to go. So I'll just explain what I'm doing as far as wrapping up little packages for all the midwives on my team. So I manage 2 midwife teams and I've made a little present for everyone. Everyone will be getting a mug. I went for black just because I thought it was a little bit more unusual, less stealable, because people like to steal mugs. I don't want anyone to get their mug stolen. I'm giving everyone a hot chocolate bomb that I've made. And for each of the hot chocolate bombs, I printed out a little instruction tag so that they know how to use it. And then I would say probably the biggest part of the present is I have made everyone what I'm calling a mug cozy, which is a knitted just stockinette stitch rectangle with a little button loop and a button handmade with love, and it's got their initials and it's got a little symbol. So I manage 2 teams. One is called the Dandelion Team Midwives, so this is for one of the Dandelion midwives. And I also manage the Lavender team, just looking for one that I can show you. Oops, I keep picking up all the dandelions. Here we go. The Lavender team have a little lavender embroidered on there. For myself as well, because I manage 2 of the teams, I get both. I'm lucky. So I'm gonna get these all together and get wrapping them up so that they're all ready for tonight. I thought it would be good to show you what the mug cozies look like on the mugs and tell you how they work. So they go around the mug like that and they button on through the little handle. And the idea is that they help to keep your drink warm, but I would say more importantly, you can hold on to the mug to warm your hands up when you're drinking it on a cold day. So I thought that was a cute idea, and I thought it would be nice to make them personalized so that everybody has their own mug with their own mug cozy. I've also got a few little tiny gifts. We're going to be playing a game that Annette introduced to us. It's a Danish game where you roll dice and take turns swapping wrapped presents around. You don't know what's inside the wrapped present, so we just bring in a few small things that we put into the middle of the table, and those are the ones that go around. It doesn't sound that interesting, but honestly it's a whole lot of fun. Everyone gets all worked up and excited, and you end up stealing presents from each other, giving them to someone else. It's a lot of fun. I will try and find a link somewhere online to explain how to play the game, and probably even a video would make a little bit more sense. But I've got a few little things. Like I said, they're just supposed to be small, like 1 or 2 pound things. So one I got is a glass. Hopefully you can read this. It says, "Believe in your elf," and there's a little twinkly Christmassy stuff on it. I got a Terry's Chocolate Orange, which is an absolute British Christmas classic. I don't think you're going to have a Christmas without a Terry's Chocolate Orange. They're very nice. And I also got some socks. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm quietly hoping that I win these socks because they're so cute. We got little snowmen on them. These ones, I went slightly out of the price range. This was £3 because they were just too cute not to get. We'll see who gets them. Whoever does, honestly, I will be happy for them because I'm sure they will be loved by anyone who gets them. Now, as far as what I'm wearing for tonight, I've got a few options and I haven't decided quite yet. I'm kind of working through the process and I thought it would be fun to show you guys what I'm thinking about wearing. I definitely want to wear something me-made because I pretty much most times like to wear something me-made. And there's a few that I feel like would be suitable, but there's sort of pros and cons to them. So I thought I would show you. So first one, I've actually got a couple of Sew Over It Eve dresses, which is a wrap dress. Whoops, they're getting tangled on each other. Bear with me. So this first one, wrap dresses never show up well on the hanger. I fully appreciate that. I will insert some pictures of me in them so you know what they look like on me. But this one is a really beautiful blush pink velvet that I got from Sew Me Sunshine. There's a nice gathering detail just at the top of the bust area there. It's a full proper wrap dress. The velvet is really cozy and warm and it does feel very Christmassy even though it's not like a Christmas color. Velvet to me is a very Christmassy feel. I almost definitely wore this to our Christmas party previously, at least a couple of times, because I've made this and I know that, I think I showed you guys, I've made some eye masks out of the same fabric that I gave out as a present, and it was kind of ridiculous that I was wearing this dress when I was giving people eye masks made with remnants of the same fabric. I got a kick out of it. They might have thought it was completely nuts, but anyway, this dress is definitely a really good option. It's really comfortable because of the waist tie. You know, you can eat as much as you want and you're going to be comfortable, not going to be a problem. And then my other Eve dress, this one I made is a different, very different kind of fabric. So this is a viscose that I got from the Fabric Godmother. I really, really love this fabric. I feel like it's definitely winter appropriate with the colors, the dark with the bright floral on top. This one's long sleeve as well. And this one I added some little sheared detail on the sleeve, just to give me a little bit of tightness around the wrist. But this one is a really beautiful, I would say more of like an elegant feeling one. So could definitely go for this one. The next one is my most, like, if we're going to talk about festive as far as, you know, Christmas colors and stuff, is this one, which is a dress hack that I did of the La Brea tee. And this by Half Moon Atelier. This isn't a red linen from the Fabric Godmother. It's a nice red. It's like a kind of tomatoey red, I would say. It's a slightly orangey tone. I've got some patch pockets that I inserted onto there. It's just a sort of grown on sleeve, short sleeve. And I do have a tie that I can put around the waist. Now, this is obviously more of a summery dress, but I do actually really like this one layered up with like some thick tights, like woolly tights, and like a long sleeve shirt underneath. I think that's really cute. A bit more casual. So I guess that's the question of like, do I want to go more casual or do I want to go more dressy? This would be my more casual one and it definitely is Christmassy. So if I'm going for the full Christmas, this is probably the closest I'm going to get. One other one that I was definitely considering is the dress I made most recently, which as a general rule usually means it's the one that I am the most excited about, and this is definitely no exception. This one is the Mayfair dress by Nina Lee. This is in this gorgeous, I'm just so obsessed with this fabric. It's a double brushed poly that I got from Melanated Fabrics. This one's fully long. It's got like a 3/4 elbow length sleeve, nice V-neck detail. This one's got like a sort of collary effect going around from the back to the front. This is my most like wintry cozy feeling one. The fabric is super duper soft and really warm as well. So this one I feel like I probably would lean toward, except for the fact that I actually pulled this out of the wash because I wore it last week when I went out for dinner with my husband for our anniversary. So I probably can't go for that one, but it would have been a strong contender. So I think probably because I've worn the velvet one for work Christmas parties before, it's between the viscose Eve dress or the red linen La Brea tee dress hack. And I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to be going straight from work. So they're going from work to the party. I'm guessing they're not going to be super dressed up. Now I say that and I'm probably going to turn up and everyone's like gone to town in the hour after they finished work because we're meeting at 6. Annette, I can say, is almost definitely going to be wearing some kind of sequins or glitter because that's just her way. But I feel like out of my options, I want to feel more Christmassy and I don't mind being a little bit more relaxed. So I think I'm going to go for this. So I'm going to layer this up. You guys will see what the finished look looks like. But I think that's the one that is going to win for tonight. So I've got the La Brea tee that I hacked into a dress, like I said, and I've got my Freya top. So this is from the Tilly and the Button stretch book in a viscose jersey fabric. And I think they layer together really cute. I've got woolly tights, some little ankle boots, a black leather bag or faux leather bag. But I think the pièce de résistance that makes it truly Christmassy is my little Christmas pin. This is actually something that I won at our Danish dice Christmas game years ago, and I always have to put it on when it's Christmas time. It's really not my kind of thing in general, but it's Christmas. Come on. Such a good night. It's been forever since I've done anything like that with the team. It was really, really fun. I'll have to show you guys what I won probably tomorrow because it's a bit late and I'm gonna get home and get to bed. But I'll see you then. Bye.